Hey guys, I I hope it gets cut out. I don't think the video started yet, but I'm just going like this. I'm going like this. There's lint all over the place, and I decided to wear a black shirt. You probably can't see it. Oh, you see it? Oh God, it's warm. It's getting colder out, and it's now getting darker out so much earlier. And I was trying to rush to get this video done because I wanted to do it while it was still sunlight so I can get that natural light. And it wasn't working. So I just set up the ring light. I'm going to try not to look at it because it blinds me every time I look at it. And let's get into the mini training. Okay, this one is so important. I wanted to help you guys out a little bit with connecting to your higher self and tapping into that energy. When we're trying to manifest our next level, our dreams, our next level of freedom and abundance, we need to be deeply connected with our higher self. We need to be deeply connected with the source energy, the energy that's already flowing inside of us. When we can tap into that and we know how to tap into it at each new level, things are going to manifest in your life like magic. That's how manifestation works. It's when you are in alignment with this energy and in alignment with your desires, in alignment with the vision your higher self has for you and where your higher self is guiding you to go. So when you create these visions for your beautiful reality, it's not a coincidence. It's not. Your soul is guiding you all the time. Your higher self is guiding you all the time. When you think about something that you really, really desire and your next level and all your deliciousness that you want out of life, it's because your soul is telling you, you're meant for something so much more. And you are meant to enjoy every moment. And you are meant to heal, you're meant to learn, you're meant to grow, you're meant to expand and continue expanding at every new level. So how do we connect into this energy? How do we tap into this universal energy and tap into the energy of our higher selves? You could do this by asking yourself the right questions, powerful questions. And when you ask yourself the right questions and the powerful questions and you do it consistently, things are going to really start to shift in your reality. When you learn how to really ask yourself the questions that are going to push you and pull you and push you into your next level and push you and pull you and guide you to expand and grow, that's how you're going to start to level up. That's how you're going to start to embody the version of yourself, your future self, who already knows all of these things, right? There's a difference between the you now and future you. And when we're manifesting, we're trying to be the future version of ourselves that already has the things that we desire. But you're not there yet. You're here. You can't see it. I'm in vertical. You're here. This is you now. This is your future you. In order to get there, you need to do something, right? Because if you continue living and continue doing the same things that you've been doing, not much is going to shift and not much is going to change. In order to get to future you, you need to do something different to get there. And by doing that, how we do that is by asking ourselves the right questions. We do that by tapping into the energy of our higher self. We do that through alignment practices, manifestation practices, healing practices, and rituals. That's how you start to bridge that gap, by doing this kind of work. And when you want to manifest your beautiful, delicious, delicious reality, you need to start living now as you will be then, little by little. You need to start embodying the version of you, your future self, that already has these things. You need to embody that person in the here and now. You want to start embodying that energy and little by little becoming that energy, becoming that person. So it's like you take steps to get there, right? You take steps to get there. Sometimes it can happen immediately. We call it collapsing timelines, right? Sometimes you can collapse a timeline immediately and boom, be in that future timeline already. But more often than not, you're going to have to do and take the steps to get there, little by little, until all of a sudden you have truly become that version. And now you're living that life that you were desiring back there, back here. Okay? You need to ask yourself the powerful questions. I always say this all the time. Most people live their lives on autopilot. Most people don't look at their lives. They don't unplug. They just keep going about their day. They're either miserable or, they might be happy sort of, but they're not really fully complete because they're not asking themselves the powerful questions. The most successful people, though, on the other hand, they do ask themselves powerful questions. They ask themselves powerful questions and they continuously work on themselves. Manifestation, spiritual healing, at its core, it's self-development. It's working on yourself. And you do that by asking yourself questions, getting quiet, taking time out for yourself, really loving and caring for yourself. And in order to connect with your higher self, you can ask yourself these powerful questions. I'm going to give you 5 of them at each new juncture in your life. You can ask yourself these questions every time you want to level up into something new. You can ask yourself these questions any day that you're having a tough day. You could ask yourself these questions anytime you feel like you can't move through, and no matter what, you're not able to manifest the reality that you want. I know sometimes it can feel so hard, and I was there for so long. Sometimes at new levels of mine, I'm at that point where I feel like I'm blocked. I can't move through. I can't push through. Well, the thing is, you can't push through because you don't want to push. You don't want to force. You want to live in alignment. And when you live in alignment with your truth and you live in alignment with your higher self and your soul, you're not going to be pushing anymore. You're going to be flowing into the next level. I know sometimes you might want to give up. I know sometimes it can be hard. I know sometimes it just feels impossible. But I promise you, if you continue doing this work and you continue doing practices and questions like the ones I'm going to give you, you're going to get to that future version that you want to get to. And you're going to get there easily each time. At each new level, you're going to learn how to handle things at each new level, and you're going to learn so much more about yourself in the process. That's what it's all about. It's coming back home to ourselves. Okay? All right, so let's dive in. I always talk a lot. Or maybe it wasn't that long. Like, let's dive in. I have a little bit of a cough too. A cold thing that's been going on. Just got to leave my system. All right. So, number 1, this is a really important question that you should be asking if you're not asking it already. What do you really want? And by that, I don't just mean what do you really desire, right? Okay, so we always talk about intentions when we're manifesting. What do I want? I want more money. I want a new home. I want a car. I want a family. We're not really talking about that. I'm asking you, what does that new car represent for you? What does that new home represent for you? What do you really want? If you want success, what does success really mean to you? What does it look like? You need to get really down to the specifics of what success looks like for you. Don't get caught up in the specifics, but get down to the specifics. Okay, what do I mean by that? Sometimes when we're manifesting things like, say, a new career, this was me for a while, and one of my students as well. And it was very, very hard for me to figure out what I wanted in a career, what I wanted to manifest as a career, because I was so stuck on what career did I want. This was years and years ago. I thought I wanted to be a blogger. I didn't know. I wasn't sure, but I wanted something. Okay. But it was making me feel stuck because I couldn't really hone in on it. I thought I wanted to be a blogger, but I knew that wasn't really it. I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. So instead, what I started to look at was not the specific career, but what I wanted out of a career. So when I say that you need to ask yourself, what does your desire really mean to you? What does success really mean to you? Okay, the feelings that success is going to bring, right? For me, when I wanted the career, I knew I wanted to help people. I knew that I wanted to make a lot of money. I knew that I wanted my own thing. I wanted my own business or my own practice. I wanted to have that entrepreneurial model for my business. And I'm not going to go into how I manifested my career in finance right now, but I will say I manifested it exactly because I used this kind of exercise. I had no idea it was going to be in finance. I had no clue, but it ticked off every single thing that I wrote down that I wanted out of the career. So really ask yourself, what does more money mean to you? If you want more money, what does that mean to you? What does that look like? I go back to success again because so many of us want success. We want our next level in income, in career, in business. But what does that look like and how does it feel? Does success mean that you are, driving around town whenever you want with the windows down? Does success mean that you can buy whatever you want or travel whenever you want? Does success mean that you're helping people and helping the planet? What does success mean to you? What does more money mean to you? And also, what are the feelings that these desires are going to give you? What are the feelings that more money is going to bring into your life? What are the feelings that a career of your dreams is going to bring into your life? So again, don't get caught up on the specifics if you can't get specific, like a specific job, but also get specific about what it is that you desire, meaning in terms of how you're going to feel and what that looks like to you. Hope I didn't confuse anyone with that one. Okay, number 2. Now, what is blocking you? You need to ask yourself, what is blocking you from having that desire? What is it that's standing in my way? That's a powerful question. And that's a question that some of the most successful people in the world ask themselves. What is blocking me from my next level? What limiting storylines, what old beliefs, limiting beliefs are coming up again and again? What old wounds, trauma, memories keep coming up that might be blocking me? What kind of people? Maybe there's people in your life that are blocking you from reaching that goal, from living that future, beautiful future life for yourself. What's blocking you? Now, what's blocking you also, like I said, write down, your limiting storylines, your limiting beliefs. But for the next question, number 3, whatever is blocking you, question number 3 is, you got to ask yourself, how do I move through it? How do you let go of these blocks? So when it comes to blocks, limiting storylines, things holding us back, you either have to release it, move through it, or learn to live with it. And usually the learn to live with it doesn't come up as much, because if it's something that's seriously blocking you from your next level, or if it's something that continues to come up in your life, like, for example, relationships, it comes up a lot for a lot of people in relationships. We want full, complete, amazing, fulfilling relationships, right? A lot of us want to manifest our soulmate and live happily ever after, but live fully and completely where you complement one another, where you lift one another up. You don't need the other person, because you yourself, you are everything that you need, and you know how to tap into that power inside of you already. But this other person will complement you, right? It's you complement one another. So a lot of times when people are manifesting their soulmate or, their special person, a lot of times old storylines will continue to come up. Maybe you've had a lot of partners in the past where it's been violent, or it has been that, you've been cheated on a lot in the past. Maybe a lot of arguments have come up with all different people you've been with. This isn't to say there's a problem with you at all. This is to say that there are beliefs that keep popping up. And this is to say that there are also things that you need to look at so you can release, like the old relationships need to go from your subconscious. You need to release because you're holding on to those things in your subconscious, whether you know it or not. So what do you need to do to remove your blocks and limitations in order to manifest your next level and live abundantly, live your empowered, abundant, aligned life? What do you need to do? Sometimes what you need to do is sit with yourself and look at all these things, because maybe you've never really looked at things like limiting beliefs or blocks or your old traumas or your past relationships before. Maybe you've never looked at them. So sitting down and looking at them consciously, that is so powerful. Maybe you need to let someone go in your life, like maybe your current relationship, you know, maybe something or someone has to go in order for you to become that version of yourself who is aligned and abundant and empowered. Maybe it's something like an old home if you're able to leave and move into a new one. That happened to one of my students. You know, you got to really just think about these things. And of course, you know, it's all about you. It's all about you. So when you sit and you tap into these questions like this, when you tap into the energy of your higher self, you'll be given answers. You will be given answers when you unplug and you start to question these things and you start to really explore yourself, your blocks, your beliefs, your wants, your needs, your desires. When you really explore these things consciously instead of on autopilot, you will get answers. You'll get answers. You just need to kind of get quiet and listen for them. A lot of times we already are getting answers all the time. It's just that we're not tuned into that. We're not tapped into that intuition, right? Get silent. And by getting silent, by doing these questions, you're getting silent and you're sitting with yourself and you're sitting with your soul and you're tapping into that higher self energy that's going to help you release what's no longer serving you and help let you know what it is that you need to release, how to release it, and how to move through beautifully, flow through to your next level. Okay, so number 4, questions to ask your higher self, questions to ask yourself to tap into the energy of your higher self. Number 4 is, if you had this big desire that you want, your next level vision, your future self vision, if you had that, what would your life look like? Start to really design this life. Start to think about these things. What would your life look like if you had more money? What would you do all day long? How would you walk? How would you talk? What would your life look like? What would your life look like if you had next level business success? If you were a 6-figure entrepreneur? If you were a 7-figure entrepreneur? What would your life look like? It's not going to look like how it looks now. Because if that's how it looked now, you'd already be there, right? So you need to start thinking about these things so that, you can give yourself and the universe things to kind of like tap into as your current reality starts to rearrange itself. This is all about manifesting, but it's also about clearing, about healing, about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. So also for one person, what career success might look like for one person is not what it's going to look like for another person. You might get inspired by someone that you see that has something that you desire, and that's amazing. But when you're tapping into the energy of your higher self and asking yourself these powerful questions, it's about you. So sit with yourself. That's a really powerful question. What does my life look like if I had this desire? What will my life look like if I had this desire? What does my life look like in the future when I have this desire? Think of it like that. You will have it. You will have it. It's just a matter of understanding how to start becoming that energy in the here and now, becoming that version of your future self little by little, like we said before, and becoming that version of yourself little by little, more and more. And in order to do that, you need to really understand what that life looks like. Get as detailed as you can. Okay, and number 5, the 5th question. And this is kind of piggybacking off of the last question. What does that reality look like for you? Okay, now what can you do each day to start living that reality? What can you do each day to live as your future self who already has those things, who already has that life? What can you do each day? So for me, a big one, every time that I am leveling up into my next level, I think about how my future self dresses. What does she wear? She probably, I don't know if she wears something so pilly, but it's cute when I stand up and it's warm. That's what matters right now because it's getting cold. I think about what does my future self wear in her next level, and I start to wear those things. And when I wear them with a conscious intention of activating the energy of my future self. What can you do in the here and now to start living that version of yourself, to start living that life in the here and now? Again, you got to take those steps, the in between. This is you now. This is your future self. So this space to get there is going to be filled with little steps that you could take right now. Maybe your future self wakes up an hour earlier every morning. Start doing that. Maybe your future self makes an awesome smoothie every morning. Start doing that. Maybe your future self journals and really taps into soulful aligned time every day. Start doing that. Start to do things in the here and now that you know your future self is doing in the there, this way. Okay? When you start to really embody this energy, that is how you manifest. You got to embody that energy, and it's amazing when it happens because you are training your mind, you're training your subconscious to be that person, think like that person, act, walk, talk like that person. And the more and more you do that, the closer and closer you get to your desired reality. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you're there. You're there. Sometimes you get there and you don't even realize it. And you're like on to the next thing that you want to manifest. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm here. I landed. And it's awesome. And I promise you, no matter how hard you may think it is at different points, I have thought it was impossible. I wanted to give up. I did give up so many times. But honestly, I didn't really give up because no matter what, I came back to it. No matter what, I had that belief that I could absolutely create my desired reality over and over again. You got to just keep holding on to that belief. And the people who are the most successful in this type of study and this type of practice are the ones who continue to do the work. They continue to do the work. They continue to do the work. They continue to work on themselves, self-development. They continue to do the practices and they just stay with it. Even when it seems impossible, they stay with it and they keep moving through. They keep holding the vision. All right. So I'm going to just do a quick recap because there's no slides to go along with this. Okay. So the 5 powerful questions to align with your higher self and manifest your next level. Number 1, what do you really desire? So if you want success, what does success look like to you? If you want money, what does that look like to you? What do you really desire? Number 2, what's blocking you from having that desire? What is blocking you from getting to your next level of freedom and abundance, from getting to your next level of success? What's standing in your way? Is it people? Is it things? Is it thoughts? Is it limiting beliefs, old storylines, things that have happened in your past that you need to heal? What's blocking you? Number 3, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to do to let go of these things that are blocking you? What can you do? Is it to do practices in healing? Is it to do limiting belief work? Is it to actually physically let go of, maybe material items or a person? What do you need to do to let go of these things and move through your blocks? Number 4, if you had your desire, what does it look like? What does your future life look like? What does your future self do each day? What does that world look like? Get as clear as you can about that. And number 5, what can you do each day in the here and now to inch yourself closer and closer and closer to that desired reality? How can you start playing in the energy of your future self in the here and now? List these things out. Really, just by doing exercises like this and doing them consciously, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. If you might think, oh, well, what's it going to do if I just take one day and I say, I'm going to list out all these different things my future self does. You have no idea how powerful it is just to list these things out, because you're training your mind to start understanding what that future looks like for you. You are putting the desire and the intention out into the universe. So universe, God can co-create this life with you. It's so powerful. I always say small, consistent steps bring you your greatest results. When you do this work and you do it consistently, even asking yourself questions like this, it is going to help you so much. It's so powerful. It is so powerful. So start playing as your future self in the here and now. Okay? If you need more guidance, Into the Vortex is the program that's going to help you with this kind of work. Every single day, you're going to be given a lesson and an activity or a journal prompt to have you play in the energy of your future self more and more, to connect deeper with your soul, to ask yourself the right questions. And it's just a little bit each day. I always say that, just a little bit. But if you are feeling like you have no idea what to do to live as a powerful manifester and you are not sure what to do each day, Into the Vortex is going to give you the work to do every single day for 30 days straight. And it's not hard work at all. It's very simple, consistent steps each day. So you can sign up for that at the link. YouTube, it's going to be under the video. Instagram, DM me. You'll find the link. It's everywhere. It's called Into the Vortex. It's a 30-day mini course. And yeah, let me know what you want my next video to be about. Leave comments, ask me questions. I am here to support you. You're amazing. Now go live in the energy of your future self. Do what it takes. Have fun with it. Little by little. Little pieces. Little steps. You got this. Bye, guys.